Sup witches, sup witches. How y'all doing today? Let's do a quick little reading to see what's going on in the collective energies. End of the month. End of Venus retrograde. Don't you love it? Don't you love it? Because I say this all the time. I'm like, what? I'm like, pre-shadow and post-shadow are always the worst phases of every retrograde, right? Pre-shadow is usually the build-up, right? That's that build-up. That's that you feel the drama coming, right? You feel it coming. You feel it sneaking up on you. And then post-shadow, and then the retrograde itself is just dealing with the retrograding energy. And then post-shadow, if you had genuinely worked on the issue, is usually the ending of it, right? The finishing out. The closure. Now, there's usually a lot of revelations that happen at this point, right? A lot of realizing certain things. Like I had a friend message me the other day going, they know who the fox is, and da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, yeah, okay. So now you know what it is. You know what's going on. You know what's driving you insane. What are you going to do about it? Do you plan on doing anything in your life to change that dynamic so that next Venus retrograde it doesn't come up? I'm not 100% sure how to change certain things. There has been a main theme every Venus retrograde for me that always pops up. I always get accused of the same exact thing. It trips me out. But, we'll see how that goes. We'll just see how that goes. Besides that, the other things, yes. Right? Just like the reading yesterday said, what? Take time to close doors, cut cords. Don't just close those doors, y'all. When you walk through them, turn around, shut them. What, were you born in a barn? What is that song? Hasn't anybody ever heard of closing a goddamn door? Oh, I know people who hate that song. And honestly, the people who hate that song are the people who, guess what? They don't close doors. They try to keep them open. So, 'tis what it is. And I ain't perfect, y'all. I make the mistakes. I am not perfect. I've never once claimed to be perfect. I mean, I own that I'm a total lunatic, crazy shit show. I've always owned that, right? But I'm not mean. Don't try to be anyway. The only time I get mean is when people aren't listening. The more people ignore me, the louder I tend to get. And that's usually just how that works. Especially when I feel like I'm the only person being logical in the situation. You know, you're not going to put blame on me for shit that you did, right? Things like that. Alright, we're going to use my shell runes today. Gotta make some more of these for the Zendan. I dropped one. What do we got today? Oh, we got the feminine sign. What's this one again? The feminine sign and romance. Let's see. Did I see the one? I did drop one on the floor. Did y'all hear it? Did you hear it? Did you hear it? Once again, this is so great. I need... Oh. Thought I heard it. There it is. Oh, who's down here? The star. I can't make it up. Alright. So we got the wish rune starting here. The feminine rune. And the romance rune. Alright, should we get some dice and just see what planets and main energies we're working with here? Who do we got? Oh, Libra. We got the Libra, the scales, the balance energy, right? What else is Libra? I haven't written up here. The Justice card, yeah, Truth, Justice, Scales. We've got Pluto, right? And we've got the number 4. You know, it's funny that everybody has jokes about the cheat sheet things. It's not that I don't know. It's just I suffer from a lot of PTSD from constantly being questioned on things that I developed the habit over so many years of never trusting my own memory, never trusting my own judgment, because I was a very easily manipulated person for a very, very long time. And the more independence that I tried to find, the more I was penalized for it. You know, everybody, I think, has gone through that. Well, any empath anyway. When you absorb people's energy, you feel people's energy, right? There's this fun thing where when you're a light worker, you tend to have this certain energy, this like certain weird glow about you, and people are very, very, very into your energy, and they want to be in your energy all the time, right? And then when you're not sparkly and shiny, they're mad at you. Or if you try to share that sparkly, shiny energy with anybody other than them, then what they'll do is they'll try to dull your shine, so that way that whoever making you feel sparkly or whoever you're being sparkly around will leave you because you're not sparkly anymore. You get what I'm saying here? You feeling that? They like to dull you, and they like to do things and play on things purposely just to dull your shine down. Ooh. All right, we got effortlessly. And we got hiding your true self. See, and that's it too, right? When you notice that you hide yourself. When you tend to draw a lot of attention, then you try to hide yourself so that you don't draw that attention anymore, because everything comes in waves. For all the good attention one person can get, there's definitely negative attention that comes along with it. And especially doing things like this. You know. It's not easy. It's not easy. Especially when you try to have relationships and stuff like that. I don't know how normal that is. It doesn't seem very normal to me. It doesn't seem very practical, but it is. There's definitely this whole dynamic of, I don't know. There we go. You know what? Got lost on the message there. I don't want to just dwell on my personal feelings today. And that's a hard thing too with reading, right? I like to read in person, right? Because when you read in person, the person shares information with you. I can dip into my own personal memories and things like that and share them out. And it's not a big deal when it's like random festivals with random people that I don't really know and I'm not going to see very often. They don't know who I'm talking about from my past and things like that. When I do stuff on these videos though, oh my God, you'd be surprised how much drama it's caused. If anybody thinks I'm even remotely sharing some sort of secret about them, and yeah, the whole world goes to shit. And you know what? I had to kind of get over that because it is what it is. It just is what it is. Ooh, we got 32, the moon, Cinderella's carriage here, and we got the rider. Very interesting. All right, so we got the moon card here. We'll start out with this one. The moon, the 8 of cups there, right? 32. This will go with this romance, wish, feminine energy here. We got the Eight of Cups. Reoccurring events, cycles, awards, public acclaim. Here is the moon spotlighting Cinderella's coach. In the story, in the Little Slipper story, Cinderella has been seen more than once by the prince to make an impression. And when you see this card, remember that public acclaim may be close at hand. Like Cinderella, you may be noticed. Of course, she was noticed for her beauty. Your awards may come from other things. The moon shines on cycles as well. Stick to the plan and reap the applause. If you are looking at this card in terms of a business venture, then a promotion is a necessity. Her fairy godmother had to dress Cinderella up so she would be noticed. Pay attention also to things that happen more than once. This could be the moon pointing to something important that you need to know. What lies near the moon may be things that deserve praise from you. Which is funny because that's what I say about this card on the 5D right now. Don't overlook the power of the moon in showing you where you can improve yourself so that you garner more attention. All right. So that's the moon there. So there's, help me stay on track. And then what else we got? One. Numero uno. The rider. All right, so we get the rider. I like this story too. All right, the rider, 9 of Cups. That's a wish card, right? Success, victory, good news, dreams, and realization. In the Enchanted Horse, a magical horse brings a prince and princess together. But then a crafty sultan uses that same horse to kidnap the princess. The prince she loves must be willy in how he defeats, wily. I can read. The prince she loves must be wily in how he defeats the powerful sultan. He succeeds in his goal by using the same magical horse to escape with his love back to his own kingdom. The rider is the card of success. This can be news of victory or a realization of a dream. Our princess had her dreams answered when her love rescued her. Her prince achieved his victory. When the rider shows up in your reading, you know that you will see victory wherever the rider is heading. What is behind the rider could show you the path to your triumph. All the amazing things you want out of life could be coming your way. When the rider approaches, who is riding towards you is a good question to ponder with this enchanting card. Note, this card can also be used for a male lover. Go ahead, Cinderella. Good Lord, man. It's so sappy, y'all. You gotta stop this. All right. Hiding your true self, though. I don't know. You tie that into the Cinderella thing, right? Cinderella was never born to be a housemaid, right? It was the jealousy of her stepmothers and her sisters that were jealous of her energy, of her abilities to sing, of how she looked. The stepmother felt that she was prettier than her ugly stepsisters, so they had to dull Cinderella's shine. And in the end, I always thought that that's a fated to suffer card. Who ends up suffering in that tale? Who ends up suffering in that tale? The mother and the stepsisters end up dark hurts today. Getting their eyes pecked out. And the stepmother is the controlling lunatic in it. I mean, she talks the siblings into chopping off. The one sister chops off her toe. Another one chops off the back of her heel to fit into that glass slipper. And what the hell was wrong with the prince that he didn't... What? Really? 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 It's a glass slipper. How did you not see, like, I don't know. I just pictured that scene in the cell where the horse gets chopped up and you can see all this stuff in the glass. Like, how blind is the prince that he can't tell that he's got this ugly stepsister with a jacked up foot shoved into that slipper? Had to be painful on her part, too, pretending to be something she wasn't. That's the lesson in that. They're so loud. All right. So on this side we got the Joker, right? Upright. I like how he's got the spade there. This is a swords Joker. Intellectual, words, thoughts, words. I like it's kind of almost like an ace of swords here, right? Which is a power and victory card. Goes along with all the wish and stuff like that. Now this is the 3D, right? On the other side of this, we have the 9 of wands here, which is a defensive energy, and it's definitely the Medusa energy here, right? And I always have my own little twisted version of Medusa about how she was actually raped by one of the male gods, and then the initial story is the other female god was so jealous she turned Medusa into this so that to punish her. For me, I kind of feel like Medusa probably wanted to be able to, any man who looked at her and found her attractive, be able to turn him to stone, right? The defensive energy, because her beauty was used against her, right? In the middle here, we have the 9 of Pentacles. Both energies are trying to just attract abundance into their life, right? Just trying to attract abundance and victory, right? Just trying to get that romance, wish, fulfillment, and abundance going, right? This side we got the 10 of Cups, right? Happy home life, happy life type deal, right? This side we got the balance of the 2 of Pentacles here, which is all about, the 2 of Pentacles is really about balance and adaptability and adapting to new things, right? Both lead to the 9 of Pentacles, where your energy goes, you know, where your focus goes, your energy flows, right? So one side's trying to build a happy home, one side's trying to build stability. This is the goal in the middle. Yep, we got 10 of Pentacles here on the 4D. What's on the telepathic connections, on the... I always say that it's like recent spirit guides. Like recent spirits are that 4D energy, right? So we got the wealth and establishment, right? The 10 of Pentacles is wealth and establishment. It's stabilized, right? In between, though, we have the High Priestess is reversed, right? Definitely a feminine energy, feeling disempowered. A Princess of Swords, not very good with their words, right? Immature with their words, right? There's definitely a 6 of Swords. I always say the 6 of Swords for me is that rite of passage card. It's that putting it together, putting the puzzle together, seeing it logically for what it is. And then we've got the King of Cups over here, right? And the King of Cups is all about that balanced emotion energy, right? You know, the King of Cups, yeah. His whole spiel is being emotionally balanced. Or at least in control of them. Right? What do we got on the 5D up here? $5D, a lot of passion. Ton of passionate energy, right? A lot of looking and planning towards the future. I always say the 3 of Wands is using like preparation, foresight, and intuition, right? Foresight is that 6 of Swords logically planning out things, right? That's using your foresight, right? careful. That's also your ego. Your ego only knows how to do one thing, take the past and calculate it into the future so that bad things don't recreate themselves and so that you can recreate good things, right? So that's your foresight. Preparation, what? What are you physically doing to prepare for what's coming, right? And intuition. Is everything in line? If you got those three things in line, then it's just a matter of waiting for your ships to come in, which is the other for that card, right? This is the Judgment card, right? And I love it because I always say, for me, the Judgment card, not only is it 20, so it's the end of this major cycle, right? I've always looked at this card as who are you giving praise to? Do they deserve praise, right? What kind of praise do they deserve? What have they done to deserve praise, right? Where are you spending your energy? Are you spending a lot of your energy trying to make someone feel better who's been messing up a lot and they're not doing anything? And it's almost like they're using you for your energy, even though they're not actually doing anything to make any real changes for themselves, right? They're still acting exactly the same. So why are you still focusing your energy there? You should be focusing your energy on people who are doing the same things that you're doing, trying to improve yourself, trying to move forward, trying to, right, work towards these goals. I do see that there is a lot of conflict still going on here. The Five of Wands here. And this is kind of what I've been talking about too. The Five of Wands is all about persevering through competition. And it's been a big message that I've had too. A lot of it is when you stop giving your attention to the toxic people and you start focusing on the other people, that's when the toxic people come up. That's when the toxic people come up. Why? Because any attention is good attention for them. Any attention is good attention for them. It's the toddler in them, right? It's the what? Oh, I'm trying to be sweet, but they're not being sweet to me because I was bad earlier and I'm still grounded, but I'm trying not to be grounded anymore by pretending to be sweet now, but they're not letting me out of my room. So I'm going to pitch a fit. It's the exact same energy. It's the exact same energy. Oh, they're not giving. How can I get their attention? How can I get their attention? Well, maybe I can go and interact with the person that they're trying to interact with, right? And stir up some drama that way. Maybe they won't talk to me anymore. So I'm going to go, I'll go talk to their ex-boyfriend. Yeah, I'll talk to him and then he'll tell them what I said and then maybe they'll give me some more attention again. Let's see. Yeah, just things like that. Just things like that. What? This type of person is like, what? Oh, this person's mad at me for no reason. What? So, well, because they're stuck being around me all the time, I'm constantly going to come and bring up things that I know triggers them to be angry so that I can say that they're just the mean, angry one all the time. Right? Now here's the trick, and that's the secret of the King of Cups, of being in control of your emotions. What? When you don't allow them to trigger you and you don't engage with the argument, you don't engage with the gossip, you don't engage with all that stuff, and which, I love you guys. You figure out how to do it. You figure out how to do it without it getting to you. Please, message me. Let me know, because I fucking fall for this shit all the time. I'm an Aries. And, well, I say it all the time. I'm a triple fire sign. I'm an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. I'm an Aries sun, a Leo rising, and a Sagittarian moon. Yeah. It's real easy to just blow flames on the fire, or gasoline on it, right? And it's poof for a second. It takes me a second to get it back under control. That's me. Page of Swords right there. What? Swing first, ask questions later. Right? The Page of Swords can also be very curious and opinionated. And that can also be energies that also come with that Five of Conflicts card, right? The very opinionated, hasty person coming in and doing that to you constantly as well. Alright, so we got the hiding one's true self. And let's go ahead and we'll do the book again for it. You know, when I first started reading, and for years and years and years, because I read for friends and family only, and I didn't read like online or whatever, you know, before Google and social media, you know, we all had to actually interact face to face all the time. To keep my own personal biased opinions out of the readings, I always read the definitions from the books, right? To keep my own bias out of it. All right, so here we go. We're going to go with hiding your true self. This is a third quarter phase moon. The stage is acceptance. Hiding is keeping things inside. Lack of trust becomes lack of hope. So there must be a limit. The visual seed. In the dazzling light, there is a hint of a door, and the door to a... I'm sorry, my lighting's terrible here. In the dazzling light, there is a hint of a door, like the door to a human. Like a door to a human. Outside, draped in scarlet tunic, stands two women, one under the sign of the sun and the other beneath the sign of the moon. The sentence for this is you could be in front of the mirror or you could be behind the mirror, yet you choose to be the mirror. Ooh! Yet you choose to be the mirror. I like that. Going dark. Hiding is a survival instinct. Do you want to be honest and truly be yourself? Very few people will accept you then. You are too complicated to be comfortable. You are too contrary to be easy. You are too exceptional to be believed. Too plain to be considered. You can be the sun, you could be the moon, you can be the door, you could be the road, you could be the butterfly, you could be a brick. Maybe the question is not if, but when. Sometimes the real solitude is when there is not a right moment to be yourself, and not the right person, and neither the right way. Being yourself is like a moment at the spa. It's a message for the soul, a purification of the process that brings oxygen and turns away age and wear. It is bliss and it is pleasure. Oh, we do talk about being stuck as being a mirror, and I say this a lot too. I do suffer from this, and a lot of empathic people do. It's a lot of the Heyoka message and things like that as well, right? 14.5 is also conflicts, right? Mirroring energy, right? When you can feel and absorb other people's energy, it is very easy just to mirror it back at them. And now this is that whole, and a lot of people play into this. This is that whole meme of, what does it say? You decide how we're going to act today. Why are you letting someone else decide? That's what this is saying. Why are you letting them knock you out of character, right? Why don't you be stronger in your character? You choose to be the mirror. You're choosing to be the mirror. I like that. Effortlessly. I haven't read these in the longest time. I love the waterfall in this. I know, it's just so dorky today. No, because I'm looking at the wrong thing. Supposed to be looking for waterfall to get the number. Waterfall, 146. 146. All right. We got it. The waterfall. Water naturally flows from the higher to the lower ground, eventually finding its way to the ocean. One of nature's most exquisite, dynamic demonstrations of this fact is the waterfall. Graceful, powerful, and effortless. She can take your breath away with her cascading beauty. She readily flows around that which may otherwise impede. She is extremely patient, persistent, and skillful in the way she is ever so gradually shapes and curves her passages down the slope of the mountain. Note that the waterfall forms ribbons that accord with the artistry of the stone faces she descends, joining into a calmer pool at the forest before she continues her journey into the continues her journey. There is no strain or stress in this movement. The water simply follows the natural law and interaction between the formations of the precipice that she traverses, and the powerful fluidity and adaptability of her flow is effortless. All right, the meditation part of this. You have come to the edge of your comfort zone and you find yourself fighting to resist moving past that perceived precipice of who you are, who you can be, or what you can do. Spirit is asking you to stop beyond the edge and allow yourself to do so with ease rather than struggle. Yet at times, physical exertion is necessary, but when performed with fluidity and grace, even the tasks that seem daunting, you'll find that... Turn the page. The movement moves you effortlessly. Approach the present situation or relationship with awareness and grace. Do not try to make it effortlessly. That just creates more strain. The key word is to allow. This is not a time to fight, but to surrender to the will of the Spirit. And even if you are being asked to let go completely and tumble into the brink of creation itself, you will find that the waters there will ultimately be still and calm. Keep your focus on your solar plexus and your breath, breathing through any tension, relaxing and yielding to the movement that is occurring in any given moment makes your life effortless. No, I keep getting that Cinderella theme, right? How horrible, she feels like she gets all these blessings and these signs and these things, right? There's an invitation to a ball. All the girls are invited, right? Oh, but she doesn't have a dress. Oh, she happens to find a dress of her mother's, right? And the universe conspires to make it into this more beautiful dress with all the rodents and birds and stuff helping her make it into an even more beautiful dress. And then the night of the party, she's so excited to go and she comes running down the stairs and she's like, look, I can go, I can go, I can go. And then the stepsisters shred her dress to pieces to dull her shine, make her cry, ruin her night, right? Tell her she can't go. The stepmother tells her she can't go. Everybody tells her that she's not allowed to go. She's not good enough. She'll never be good enough. She'll always be what they say she is. She runs off crying. They go off to the party, right? And then that's when the fairy godmother comes. And then that's when the fairy godmother brings her the most spectacular dress she could have never even imagined. Far more spectacular than anything at the ball, which makes her even more stand outish to the prince to catch his attention, right? It's that whole everything kind of happens for a reason, and the less you fight it, the easier it is. There's a lot of acceptance happening for a lot of people. All right. I like that. I like it like that. All right, let's get a little bit. This, we'll get one more oracle card from my girl Intuitive Tarot. Never underestimate the predictability of stupidity. Right? If you're so smart and so observant and you know that's what these people are doing, stop letting them affect you. I say this all the time. All the time, y'all. All the time. I do not profess to be perfect. Never have been, never will be. A person playing a role will eventually forget their lines. Pay attention. The act cannot go on forever. Same thing with the story of the sisters. What? They pretended to be Cinderella, but they ended up getting busted in the end anyway. Though, of course, it was the universe screaming at the prince. It was the birds in the tree going, the shoe, that made him finally look down and go, why is your foot bleeding? You don't really fit in that shoe. I got you on a heart. You don't know how lucky you are not to have one. Hearts will never be practical until they are made unbreakable. But still I want one. Education is not the kindling of a flame, not the filling of a vessel. I've been getting a lot of that lately. A lot of I'm not willing to learn, and it's not a I'm not willing to learn. It's just what you're trying to teach doesn't spark my interest. You're trying to fill me up with your bullshit information, and I'm sorry, I'm tired of people pissing in my cup. I would rather have somebody that stokes my fire than tries to drown me. All we are is the result of what we have thought. Yes, I love it. That's a message from one of our other favorite readers there, right? Think about how you have manifested this. You'll only mess up when you mix seasonal people with lifetime expectations. Seasonal people with lifetime expectations. It's a lot of that closing the door, right? What is that? Medea was just, that reminds me of that whole Medea thing. It's about the tree. If you ever find it, maybe I'll find it and I'll put it in the descriptions. I'll get it for you. I know where it is. I know what it is. But it talks about, how people are like parts of a tree. And I'll just go ahead and say it. She talks about how people are like leaves on a tree, right? Or people could be categorized into parts of a tree, right? Some people are like the leaves of the tree. When the wind blows, they're over here. When the wind blows this way, they're over there. They're only there for, they're only there to, absorb sunlight and to cast shade, right? Some people are, and when the season ends, they fall off the tree and they die. That's fine. That's what they're supposed to do, right? And we talked about all the tree stuff the other day in the other readings. Now, she also says some people are like the branches of a tree, right? They kind of connect you to the leaves. She's like, but you got to be careful with those branches because sometimes you'll climb out on one of those branches and they'll break and leave you high and dry, right? But if you have just a few people who are like the roots of the tree, that's all you need to survive broken branches and losing your leaves. Right? A lotus cannot bloom in a garden built for a rose. If you are not blooming, you are not in the garden you are meant to be in. Did you hear I was happy and just want to mess it up? Be mindful of people who just come in to cause drama, right? Haven't you people ever heard of closing a goddamn door? I can't make this stuff up, y'all. Can't make it up. That one's not supposed to be in here. One more, and then we'll get an intuitive card and be done. All right. And to think, I think you have no heart, and I had a mind once to give you mine. You know what? That goes with this card. This energy that popped in there that I didn't take out the other day, right? How could our love be so blind? I think you have no heart, and I had a mind once to give you mine. It's like praying for rain as I stand in the desert, but I'm holding you closer than most, 'cause you are my heaven. It's nice to have someone think that you're their heaven, but it's really not worth it when they're your hell. It's nice to have someone think that you're whatever it is that they think that you are. If it's making you miserable, if all they do is make you miserable, then You're not their heaven. They just want to own you, right? I'm sorry, that was kind of a sad ending to that one. Not a fan of how that ended, but it is what it is. Can't beat the universe. Those are the energies at play, right? I mean, even in the Rider, you had the Sultan, right? So the princess gets kidnapped by the Sultan and the prince has to go back and get her again, right? There's always... And the Sultan what? The reason the Sultan wanted to own the princess. Fractured. Held the moon signs on this. Now, this is part of the intuitive deck. There's no actual general meanings for these cards, but I've always liked this card in the sense that I think of that Chinese practice of repairing broken china with gold, and it's considered more valuable and more beautiful once it's been repaired with that gold because it is now more unique. It's heavier. It can hold more volume now than it did before because the cracks have been filled, so it's created a little bit more space within the vessel, right? Everything was improved by it being broken. Everything was improved by it being broken. But it takes time to sit there and put all the pieces back together and to glue them back together with gold, right? And now maybe you don't want to be a vessel anymore. Well, that's fine. Take those broken pieces, make them into a mosaic. Make them into a piece of, what is that? Stained glass, right? It's your choice on how you want to go through that. You know, I also always get the sense of this, of the cracks are not just where, cracks are where the love gets in. Cracks are also where the love gets out. Why is that song? You're broken and it's beautiful. Loss. Right? Sometimes you have to lose things. Sometimes you have to walk through that door, right? Just remember to close it behind you. You don't want that spider coming through and making a new web on the other side. Healing. Healing is gluing those pieces back together, right? Love how it's like a little stick person with the feathers on it, right? And it almost looks like a saging wand. Blowing smoke around, right? Clearing the space of negative energies is part of healing, right? You also got the spiral dynamics there. Anything else? So definitely a calling of cleansing your space. I had a friend once ask me too. She was just like, I saged, and then this person ended up leaving my life. Do you think it's because I saged my space of negative energy? And it's like, yeah, honey, I do. Do you have a vision? Keep working towards it. All right, y'all. That's all the energy and time that I have for today. A little bit of smoky smoke going there. I think 43 minutes is enough time. I love y'all. Blessed be all those who walk these weird and trippy ass paths with me. I will be back just as soon as I can. I promise. Right? And yeah. I hoped you enjoyed that message for today. I love you. I'll be back as soon as I can. Hey, remember, buttons and bells, buttons and bells. If you made it this far, I deserve buttons and bells. All right. Talk to you later.